What's up, everybody? Thanks for clicking this video. Thanks for tuning into the channel. This is episode 131 of our movie review series. My name's Simon Hill, Black American from Louisiana, here with my beautiful, sexy wife. Say hi, boo.
Hi, everyone. This is Akti, and I'm from Turkey, and today we are reviewing Blacula.
Yes, the 1972 blaxploitation cult classic film that had a remarkable commercial impact when it dropped and a long-lasting cultural impact after its release. This film stars William Marshall as Prince Mamuwalde, as you can see, Blacula right here. And it's about this black African prince who goes to Transylvania to try to ask Dracula, of all people, to stop the slave trade. And then Dracula, turns him into a vampire. And he wakes up in, modern America in the 70s. And he's out for blood and revenge and to get his boo back. We watched this film a week ago. This was my first time watching it. Was it yours?
Yeah.
And I'd say this film is either so bad it's good, or you just appreciate it because of the nostalgia tied to it. Of course, it's not the best made film of all time. It's a bit silly, tongue-in-cheek, kind of ridiculous, but the campiness of it makes it so adorable and endearing. You know what I mean? So I could say I enjoyed it when we watched it, but what did you think?
Yeah, I enjoyed it too, because like you said, it wasn't the scariest movie, and yeah, it wasn't the well-made, the best effects and everything like that, but it's just camp, and it's funny, and it's there are also I don't know, different themes, because this is not the first vampire movie we watched. We also watched the new Dracula movie. I forgot the name.
I think you mean Sinners.
No, not Sinners.
Oh, Nosferatu.
Nosferatu.
But this is way better than Nosferatu.
You think so?
I think this is much better than Nosferatu, because this one deals with some interesting themes. And once again, like how we were talking about Together versus The Front Room in our previous episode, the mainstream films that are put out that a lot of people are praising, I feel like they have very surface level themes and storylines. Mm-hmm. But these sort of more underground films, they have more complex themes and interesting characters and plot lines. So
yeah, I mean, in terms of which one is better, I guess it depends on you, because it is subjective. But I agree with you, this movie does have more themes, and I think maybe it is more open to conversation, whereas Nosferatu, yes, the costumes and everything is great, but I felt a bit more frustrated watching Nosferatu than this one. As I was watching this one, it was just a lot of fun. Yeah,
it was very fun. Sometimes you're laughing with it, sometimes you're laughing at it. I kind of disagree with you about points that it's not scary. There are some scary points in here, when Dracula, Blacula bites the woman when she's developing the pictures, and just the idea of being locked in a coffin. You know what I mean? It's psychological, how they did Mamuwalde as sort of torture. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I thought certain parts of it were kind of terrifying for me.
Okay. I mean, just the fact that obviously it's 70s and the effects are not as good as it is today.
Yeah.
So I think that just took me out of the scariness of it, but I get the psychological horror part, definitely.
But, you're talking about, certain parts of it, the effects and stuff weren't good. This is a blaxploitation flick, so they were working with $42 and a bunch of loans. The film was made on literally a shoestring budget, but this film ended up making $2 million at the box office, which is $2 billion today. So this film, made a lot of money, like a lot of black films. You know what I mean? They cost nothing to make, and they, gain everything.
Yeah, and just a little bit of trivia, because if you go on YouTube, this movie has lots of video essays about it. It's kind of I think became a cult classic or something. And I was watching some of them, and a little bit of trivia. They show this interview with William Marshall, which is the main character, Blacula, and they actually told them no, don't put the slavery stuff in there. Just do a black version of Dracula. So I think this movie was also controversial for its time, because they didn't want all of that context in there, and they just wanted the horror.
But that's what makes it interesting, and it also makes you look at Blacula like, even though he's biting people, killing people, he's actually like a misunderstood hero. You know what I mean?
And
like,
he's a lover.
Yeah, he's after his love. Like, we'll break down the story more, but because of the opening scene and what Blacula, how he became Blacula, you're like, oh, he's basically like Frederick Douglass, and Frederick Douglass got, bit by a vampire,
Yeah. I think movie, really does not make us hate Blacula.
It does not, no.
Yeah, I never at one point felt like, oh, I hate Blacula.
He's misunderstood. He's literally, and that's what makes it so fascinating and stuff like that. And this is actually another piece of trivia. This is the first depiction of a black vampire in cinema history. So something else to think about. But let's break down this story right here. Let's go to the opening scenes. So we see, at the beginning of the film, this is Mama Walde, Prince Mama Walde. He's an African prince who came to Transylvania, and he's, dressed in fine regalia and speaks perfect Queen's English. And he's here with his beautiful wife, Luva. And they're, talking to Count Dracula after they had a very, grand dinner with a bunch of rich people, European aristocrats. And Mama Walde presents this piece of paper to Dracula, says, can you kind of please stop the slave trade? That's why we came all this way. We came to Romania to ask you this, bruh. And basically, Count Dracula does like some good old racism, and he says, sir, only one of us come from the jungle. And I think only one of us has the right to talk to one in a certain type of way. And so Mama Walde says, I will leave, sir. And Count Dracula says something funny. He's like, you can leave, but leave your bitch with me. And then Mama Walde gets pissed. He starts fighting, Count Dracula, and he also starts fighting like the guards that come in. But they beat up Mama Walde and they tie him up. And Count Dracula says, I will make you into a demon or something that will live forever, something that will be horrible. So Count Dracula shows he's a vampire, bites Mama Walde, locks him in a coffin, and also has his wife put into the tomb with him as well. And she dies, and he's there for 100 or 500 years or something. So what do you think of the opening scene?
Yeah, I mean, that was definitely not the beginning I was expected, but I was shocked, positively.
Yeah.
Because I honestly didn't, think, there's going to be this theme of slavery or anything like that. Yeah. And I was like, oh, okay. This Dracula dude, Count Dracula, basically embodies everything wrong about the colonizers, and just their whole being. There's the exoticism of the black woman there, they put that in there as well. And yeah, I really like the beginning because also it just got straight into action. They took them and Blacula was created. And also it was hilarious. Count Dracula said, you are now Blacula.
Yeah, Count Dracula gives him the name Blacula. And I think when we were watching it, you were like, that's just silly. But I was like, it kind of makes sense because at this time, in history, black was a slur. There were black people that weren't calling themselves black. They were calling themselves Negro or African American maybe. But black was created by, black Americans to say, no, we are beautiful and we accept our blackness. But Count Dracula saying it is almost like the N-word to him.
Yeah, the way he said it was
yeah, okay. But there's a lot of metaphors right there or symbolism that recreates a type of slavery or that Mama Walde went through, because what happened? Dracula renamed him. Dracula, enslaved him and then took his woman and stuff like that. So Mama Walde went through symbolically, what a lot of black people went through, you know what I mean? Being dehumanized, literally dehumanized. He's turned from a human into this monster, similar to, Count Dracula, the white man that made him,
Yeah, and then also trapped for 100 years in a box.
Exactly. Literally
that's also a metaphor, too.
For slavery, exactly.
Yeah, because now, a lot of the African nations are still paying for those exploitations that was done by the colonizers.
Yeah, literally, it's Mama Walde is sort of like a stand-in representation of what, slavery did to the African man and woman. You know what I mean? So
yeah, and I like the fact, you see this black king defending his people and saying trying to do treaties and trying to like do the European way or whatever.
Yeah.
Because obviously the Europeans won't listen to them. So I like also that in there as well. Like, you know, because I feel like that's also kind of an argument. Like a lot of people say, oh, like Black kings sold their own people.
Exactly.
So, you know, it was a nice representation of that. Yeah,
this film sort of goes against the narrative, you know, that the Africans sold each other and your people didn't even care about you and stuff like that. When, like, he's representing his people and saying, like, yo, like, stop it for all Black people, not just my tribe, which I think he called his tribe the Abi or the Abi. Abu, something like that, right? And I don't think Mama Walde is a real African name. I don't think they just sort of made it up.
I mean, it could be.
Maybe, I guess. But one more thing I have to say, like the opening scene is also a bit campy because like when Dracula's henchmen come, he also invites like these women that are wearing like these like, you know, gowns and dresses and like really crappy makeup.
Green. One of the ladies was green.
And so you're like watching it now in our 2025 like CGI eyes. It's like really
raw.
It's really silly.
I can see the foundation marks. Like the green foundation.
Yeah, but this was blaxploitation, baby. They did it with a credit card and a dream. A credit card and a dream made this movie happen.
I mean, but I think just because the movie is like fantasy, it doesn't bother you that much.
Yeah, especially if you go into it knowing that it's going to be a lower budget film from the 70s. Like you have your mindset ready for that. But moving forward in the film, this is the part right here where Blacula is put into the coffin and, you know, Dracula says he will starve for eternity. And, you know, Luva just sits there and dies. And I thought that was pretty horrific, like how they did Luva, you know? Yeah,
they also locked her, I guess her body kind of free to roam around the room, but she has to like listen to her lover's screams as he like suffers. Yeah, he's locked in the coffin, and plus he's a vampire, so he needs to feast on blood, but he can't. You know what I mean? And then she slowly, you know, dies of hunger too. Really horrific death. But moving forward, it's like the 1970s now, and I think that part took place like in the 1570s or whatever. So it's about 300 years later. And coming to Romania now is this this queen, this afroed, you know, sissy queen, and he's coming with his husband, boyfriend. I don't know if it was legal at the time. Maybe they were from Canada. Who knows? And they're coming to buy a mansion or something like that in Transylvania. And they're also, you know, vampire files, I guess. Like they love vampires and the whole myth of it, I guess. Yeah, because like, you know, how America portrays stuff. It's very Hollywood. Yeah. And they have like, oh, Dracula, like how fantastic, you know, how interesting. It's a myth, like it's not real, but we just love the story. Yeah. But kind of interesting. We were speaking about this yesterday when we were talking about the other 1970s blaxploitation film, Coffee. Like, there's queer representation right at the beginning. And I feel like these guys, you know, kind of do like a good representation of queer identity. You know what I mean? I feel like, yeah, they're a bit like, you know, very effeminate and sassy and, you know, sissified. But I think, you know, they come across like normal, kind of successful, rich, worldly couple. You know what I mean? I feel like if you showed them the same, you know, couple here in a film today, it wouldn't be, you know, considered like scandalous or like a slur against the community. You know what I mean? But what do you think? Yeah, I mean, I do think it's a bit stereotypical the way how they're just like extra. Okay. And that's also like part of the queer community, but it's not also everyone. Yeah. So that's just a little bit of that is there, but overall, like I think it was also a good representation. Yeah. Like because at least it was a representation at that time, like 1972. Yeah, I just think it was a bit camp, but also like they're cool. Like I was not offended. You know what I mean? Sometimes you watch these films and you're like, ooh, it's cringeworthy because you hear like homophobia or like racism or sexism so casually. You know what I mean? But I feel like this queer representation is actually kind of cool. Yeah, yeah. And also, like, you know, they're like an interracial gay couple. International, like, interracial, rich gay couple. Yeah, that's not, I don't think at the time this was something you saw often.
Yeah, very liberatory.
Yeah.
Like, what no black people think about, I want to buy a house in Transylvania. Nobody was thinking about
and
that.
the rich, and they collect antiques from Romania. Like,
I guess.
That's a cool representation.
I guess. But one thing I'm sure that representation gone wrong. Where are the Romanians saying we were not involved in slavery? I know somebody is going to say, why is Blacula going to Transylvania when the Romanians didn't do slavery? I know, because like that bothers me a lot when Europeans say like, oh, our country can't be racist. We didn't do any slavery. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure there was like one Romanian guy who said, thank you, Simon, for bringing that up.
Okay.
Anyway.
One Romanian rant.
Yes, I'm sorry.
Just before going forward, I just want to mention the intro with the little like cartoon and the music. That was really fun. I just wanted to mention that. I didn't put a picture here.
Oh, yeah. Like the film opens up like doing the opening credits of the actors and the producers and things like that. And they have this little animated bat like flying around, sucking the blood of like little cartoon women. It's very cute.
Yeah, that was very cute.
Yeah.
Whoever did that, good job.
Yeah, shout out to you, whoever you are. I'm sure he's dead or she is dead.
Well, R.I.P.
I think most of the people in this film have passed on, which is also strange too. Like when you watch these films from so long ago, like you're literally watching Ghost, you know? But continuing here, so the gay couple that came to Transylvania, they bought the house and they find the coffin of Mama Walde in the ground, and they take it back as like a type of antique. So they ship it back to the U.S. and when they go to the port to collect their stuff, when all of it arrives, they open up everything and they crack open the coffin, and Mama Walde wakes up and he pushes himself out, and he's so hungry. He's very hungry, and the two gay guys don't notice it because they're playing around with like the other boxes. But you know, Mama Walde like attacks the white guy. I think he bites him, and then he also bites like the young black boy as well. And you know, it's actually kind of tense. You know what I mean? And I like the build up for it. Like I love how, you know, he sort of like has this sort of aura. Like William Marshall was like a very tall, domineering man on screen. So like when he wakes up out of the coffin, he's like very tall, like Nosferatu. You know what I mean? So go ahead. What'd you think of that scene?
Tall, broad shoulders, very big guy.
That was a man.
Yeah. And I mean, I didn't mind his makeup either, like here, because like vampires, you know, they grow hair when they change and stuff like that. Yeah. So that wasn't too bad for me. Yeah. Also just knowing the context and time, but I liked it too. It was definitely, there was that tension there. I mean,
I liked his outfit too. I liked the costume. And I love how throughout the film, Mama Walde does not change the costume. Like he doesn't switch up in like 1970s bell bottoms and leather jackets. To the cape. He's loyal to the cape. That cape does not come off throughout the film. And it becomes like a commentary, like, say, brother, how can I get a cape like that? Like that becomes pretty interesting.
Yeah. And it was kind of cute. I'm not gonna lie. Like when he killed both guys.
Yeah. And
then like he just like was so happy and satisfied, and he went back into the coffin and just like
went back to sleep.
You know? After I was like, what the hell just happened?
After 1,000 years or 500 years in the coffin, he got to taste some sweet blood.
Yeah.
Yes. So moving forward in the film, the family of, I believe, the young black boy who was killed come out there to the coroner's or the funeral home, and they're looking at his body, and they're like kind of shocked at what they see because, you know, he died suddenly and they didn't expect that. And right behind them here in this scene, as you can see on the screen, is the detective, and this is Dr. Gordon, played by Thalmus Rasulala. Thalmus Rasulullah. But that's the most confusing name. That's the most old school black Muslim name I've ever seen. Rasulullah, bruh. Thalmus Rasulullah.
Okay, chill. I was going to say Rasulullah.
No, Rasulullah. Like, as in, like, a Muslim as... That name makes no sense. I don't know if your parents were sharecroppers or jihadis.
Wow.
Like, what is that? That's crazy. Anyway... now I can't stop saying Thalmus Rasulullah. That sounds so fake.
Stop. No.
That sounds like a member of the Wu-Tang Clan. who never got on a song. Yo, estamos Rasulullah.
He was like the right-hand man of Elijah Muhammad.
He was Elijah Muhammad's gunman. Anyway, Dr. Gordon, is inspecting the body, and the funeral home man shows him that there's like these deep wounds in his neck of the dead boy, and that his blood was sort of like sucked out and stuff like that. So Dr. Gordon gets on the case to try to find out more about what happened. What'd you think of this scene?
Yeah, I like this scene. We're introduced to this new characters, and I like the subtle social commentary in this scene. Like, Dr. Gordon asks about like, oh, where's the other body, which was the white gay dude, right? And then the funeral home owner says like, oh, I don't get any white bodies.
I forgot about that, but that's another piece of commentary.
Yeah, it's like these subtle social commentaries. It's not in your face, and it doesn't dwell on them, but it just gives it to you like that. And also like, the funeral home guy like thinks Dr. Gordon is rude. So like he sort of has a line about that. That was funny too. And then we also like see Mama Walde just like lurking and saying "Luva, Luva."
Yes, which doesn't make sense. Like how he got there. There are certain plot holes in this film. Like how did Mama Walde, get out of the coffin again and come back to the funeral home and know that they were going to be inspecting the body? It's a bit like stage play, campy.
Yeah,
makes no sense.
Also, why does Luva look like a witch? Like.
Yeah, she came in there
like
with
a regular girl.
Yeah, like this girl had like wild fashion sense. So this, by the way, it's not Luva. It's now this new girl in the future, 400 years later, whose name is Tina Williams, and I guess she's related to the guy who died. And she's played by the same actress who played Luva, Mama Walde's wife at the beginning. That's Vonetta McGee. Shout out to her. She's gorgeous, great actress as well. And I'm sure she also did some other blaxploitation films we should check out. But yeah, I thought it was kind of cool how, they used the same actress and like made her play a different character and didn't like change up her look or anything like that.
Yeah.
I felt like that was sort of like a hint to like, oh, we are our ancestors, or people are just, we are our grandparents or people that were before us just reborn again. I thought that was a really cool touch.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Like I either thought like, oh, she has a connection to like Luva's family back in Africa or something, or she's like reincarnated version of Luva.
Yeah.
So yeah, either one of those, and I like both possibilities. So.
Yeah. But shout out to her. Shout out to everybody in this scene. I'm not gonna lie though, I thought her friend was much cuter.
Michelle.
Yes, Michelle.
And Michelle is together with Dr. Gordon.
Oh, Michelle is Dr. Yeah, that's right.
They're together.
Okay, yeah. Well, Dr. Gordon knows how to pick them.
Wow.
Moving forward, so Mama Walde becomes obsessed with who he thinks is Luva, but it's actually Tina. And Tina is like, I don't know who you are, bruh, and why are you wearing a cape? And you smell like you have not showered in 400 years. So basically, Luva calls Mama Walde an African booty scratcher and runs away.
There's like this scene of chasing, like he's chasing Luva down the street, and obviously like it's America and it's late at night, so she gets freaked out.
Yeah,
and I think she leaves her purse.
And he picks it up.
He picks it up, yeah.
Yeah. And then I think when Mama Walde was chasing her, by the way, like Mama Walde is a vampire with limited abilities because the budget had limited funds. So he's not the type of vampire that will just fly or teleport right in front of you instantly, right? Like he does turn into a bat later, but literally seeing this man running down the street.
Yeah.
But I also maybe think, okay, he's been in a coffin for 400 years. Maybe he doesn't know his powers yet.
Maybe. Plus, like, he's not a natural vampire or something. He's been turned. But also, like, he doesn't want to hurt Luva or, like, Tina. Yeah. So I think he's being also cautious about that as well.
So he gets hit by a taxi. And then a black woman comes out who was driving the taxi cab, and she was wearing the funniest hat. I can't believe people used to wear those hats back in the day driving taxis. I didn't see Robert De Niro wear that in Taxi. I wonder when they stopped doing that. You know what I mean?
I mean, I was kind of shocked to see a woman taxi driver because, like, we don't have that in Turkey now.
What is it about these blaxploitation films? They're so progressive because women taxi drivers is still like unheard of. You know what I mean?
I mean, there's like a couple.
There's a couple, like, but it's still
one in a dozen.
Yeah, it's like a mostly, sausage-filled career. But yeah, basically, Mama Walde gets hit by a car. And he gets out, and the woman is giving him a lot of jive and a lot of like back talk. So then he bites her, turns her into a vampire. And so moving forward, Dr. Gordon is like doing an examination of the body of the woman who got bit by Mama Walde, and he's finding out, oh wait, her blood is all gone. There's something different happening here. Any comments on this scene?
No, I guess I was also kind of confused, like, what is Dr. Gordon doing? Like, is he a doctor? Because we see him examining bodies, but he's also like a detective. So is he like a doctor / detective?
Exactly. They didn't have the budget to make a black doctor and also a black cop, so they joined them as one. I guess he's like the police, like CSI, I mean, I don't know, like, anyone who has a gun but also inspects bodies like that and then also, like, digs graves at night. I don't know. Yeah, he's two characters in one.
I'm glad that we don't have too many characters. Yeah. Then it gets confusing. Yeah. But, yeah.
And I like the acting of Thalamus Rasulullah. Thalamus Rasulullah. I like his acting, though. He does it well. You know what I mean? But yeah, basically, he's inspecting the body and stuff like that. But then I believe the woman wakes up.
Not yet.
Not yet? Okay, sorry. But going now forward to this club scene. There's like this really cool club scene where like this, soul band is playing. And this woman is singing for real. Like she is singing. Like
she's dancing, she's singing, she's grinding, like everything.
This part was fun, but I believe Mama Walde comes to the club, which is kind of funny. It's funny, a black vampire up in the club with a cape on. He goes and sits down with Luva and her people and stuff like that, and I believe Dr. Gordon is there as well. Yeah. So Mama Walde is in front of the person that eventually will try to hunt him down and stuff like that. But he's telling his story, and he's being very mysterious too. But he's also got like a aristocratic air about him, which is kind of cool. What do you think of that scene?
First of all, I really like that they took their time with the club scene and the music band. It reminded me of like Love Jones, like how they also took their time to just show us the vibe. And it was like giving that, obviously, like, this is probably an inspiration for Love Jones. They're two different movies.
Yeah, it's very different, but still.
Yeah, just like that sort of perspective. I wish they leaned on some comedy about like Mama Walde being locked up for 500 years. So he's now in this new modern world. And I wish they made a couple of jokes on that.
Yeah, like he doesn't know what a telephone is.
Yeah, like, and he just here like having a martini or whatever, like, and in this club with lights and I don't know, electronics, like stuff going around. So I felt like that was a missed opportunity to have a bit of humor, though in general they think he's weird. Yeah. So, yeah, that's understandable.
They do kind of make a few jokes later, like the brother with the cape, you know what I mean? Like, they do.
Something other than the cape.
Yeah, but they could have made some more jokes, like Mama Walde could have said something like, I've been locked up for 400 years, and then everybody says, haven't we all? Or something like that, you know what I mean? Something silly.
Like something he finds weird, and then they try to explain it to him. Yeah. They think it's weird, too. Yeah. It was like he just adapted to, I don't know, 1970 New York.
Instantly. Yeah, I also thought maybe, and once again, the film is not trying to be extra deep, but I thought maybe they could have, or if somebody is to remake this film, make Mama Walde sort of like, kind of like a freedom fighter. You know how in Sinners, they make the vampires seem like they're going to try to fight for, liberation and they're against all types of discrimination. Mm-hmm. So Mama Walde in his time was trying to be a freedom fighter for his people. And he's like, we're still living under oppression and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Maybe if I not make it too deep, you know what I mean? But still explore how Mama Walde thinks about, Black life now, because we're not in chains, but we still have like mental chains and like invisible chains on us,
Yeah,
So,
I mean, as far as we see in this movie, he's not exposed to anything like that.
Yeah.
Like, he's not exposed to racism. He's not exposed to police brutality or anything like that. So maybe, like you said, if they remake it, they could add a scene like that and have him see it. And then give us, like, his thoughts.
His commentary and stuff like that. So that way we still have this more complex villain, you know what I mean? Which I would find just kind of cool. But either way, the movie as it is, I'm not complaining about it too much. But moving forward, so at the club, I think Mama Walde, like, puts the Mac on Luva, and he, like, actually convinces her that he, you know, he likes her and he's going to care for her. And I believe also he gave her the purse back too.
That's how he, like, sort of introduces himself. He's like, I think I scared you. Here's your purse. Like, you know, kind of playing it down low. Yeah. And I believe there was a photographer in the club who was taking pictures of everybody. And,
I think Mama Walde didn't like that. He knew, like, that was going to be a problem.
Just as, like, he was leaving, he was giving Tina a kiss. And then the photographer took a photo of him. And he got, like, sort of shocked.
Yeah, because he had never had his photo taken before. But he knew that was a problem, like, that you shouldn't have did that.
And that's what takes us to the next part, which is, like, we see this girl, I think her name is Nancy, and she goes into her house, goes into the red room photograph thingy, and Mama Walde breaks in and bites her and gets her.
Yeah, I thought that was actually a cool scene. I felt the tension. You know what I mean? They do it very well with, just by having her go into the red room, which automatically makes it a bit more scary.
Yeah.
And then, like, she checks outside the room and she hears something but sees nothing. And then she, checks again, and then Mama Walde just breaks out, like that. I thought that was kind of cool. Yeah. I think they did that well.
I think this was one of the most cinematic scenes in the movie, because I really liked those shots in the red room, like you said. And then, like, we see Nancy see the photograph, and Mama Walde is not there in the photograph.
That was done really well too. Yeah.
What? Like,
she's like, what the fuck?
And there's, like, a record playing in the back, but when Mama Walde comes, like, he breaks the record and then comes in. Like, it was very tension, but also, like, just the colors and I don't know, the atmosphere. It was very cinematically well done, in my opinion.
Yeah, and it's sort of like, I think a lot of people have had that type of feeling, like you come home alone at night and you hear sounds and you don't know what it is, like classic horror movie stuff. Nothing really inventive. It's not the wheel made again, but it's, like, done so well and done so right. You know what I mean? Yeah. But one thing that bothered me throughout the film is the fact Mama Walde's eyebrows touch his afro. That shit really bothered me, as you can see in the screen right here. Like, that, that is scary. That is horror. That is true horror. The hairiest man, bro. Really hairy. That man, and William Marshall in real life had really bushy eyebrows. I have not seen a brother with eyebrows like that before.
They're kind of okay. They're not that bushy, I think.
I think they're really bushy. But
he's definitely a granddaddy.
Okay, all right, relax. Hold on, wait. Okay, all right. So, all right, FMK, Nosferatu, the vampires from Sinners, like when Michael B. Jordan, one of the characters, became a vampire, or Mama Walde.
Is this FMK?
Yeah.
Okay, kill Nosferatu, because what the hell?
Okay.
Marry Sinner vampires.
Michael B. Jordan, really?
Can I marry both of them?
No,
I have, like, two.
No, relax. You don't even like Michael B. Jordan like that.
And then F. Blacula.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I don't know.
Blacula. I might marry Blacula because he's romantic.
He's sophisticated.
Yeah. Okay, I change it. Okay. Marry Blacula and then F. Twin vampire brothers.
Yeah, that's a better choice. Relax. Yeah. Anyway, moving forward. Sorry for the distraction. So basically, YouTube do not demonetize me, and Acty, keep your head straight to block that word. Okay. But I forgot what happened in this scene. Tell me.
So basically, Dr. Gordon figures out, like, he's been reading these books about ghouls and vampires and werewolves, and he figures out, like, this is a vampire, and he's trying to, like, kind of say it to his girlfriend, which is Michelle. And he says, like, baby, we're going to do this together. And then Michelle also is, like, a scientist in the lab, and she acts like she's doing science at one point. And and then he says like, we're gonna go into the graveyard and look at the grave of the gay dude that died, the white gay dude that died, and we're gonna see if it's there because I need to like connect these dots.
That's crazy. Like to convince your girlfriend or wife, like, hey baby, come with me to the cemetery. We're gonna dig up a dead white boy.
Yeah, and then at first she says this, and then like he puts some. Like he just like kisses her and stuff like that.
Yeah,
and
he puts some Mac on her.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
And then she gets convinced.
She's like, okay.
Yeah, okay.
Little plot holes in the film because there is no black woman in existence that would agree to this man's idea. She said, boy, are you crazy? There's zero, zilch, none. Zero. Like me, I'm gone. There is no black woman that would do this. But they go out to the graveyard. Meanwhile, I think Mama Walde tells her why he's so obsessed with her. He believes that she is Luva, like we mentioned before, and he also starts to talk more about his tribe. And I thought this film had heavy symbolism because, once again, Mama Walde is an African coming to America to remind, the African Americans about their African roots and lineage and, like, who they really are. I thought this film had a lot of depth and meaning in that scene. But he really also professes his love for her, and it comes across as, like, genuine and real. And Tina buys it and believes in it too. And she's like, I love you, Mama Walde, as well. So what'd you think of that scene?
I mean, he comes out here, like he says, I'm a vampire. And he basically says, like, if you want, I can turn you into a vampire and we can live together forever. But Luva is like, I love you and I think, like, you're cool. But I'm kind of scared to do that. And he also says, like, after Luva is like, I'm scared, he says, okay, I'm not going to force you. So, like you said, it feels very pure, like, his love. And that's why Luva also doesn't, get scared of him. She actually believes he's a good guy. Yeah. And, I mean, I didn't think of it like that, but I can see your point. That he kind of represents the African roots. And, it does have, like, a roots, sort of aesthetic to it. And also, the film also deals with that idea of, like, love and, like, what would you do for your love, and would you die for your love is a question some people ask their partners, but would you live forever for the person you love too, which is kind of deep. Like, I'm scared to ask you this, but if I became a vampire, would you want to be a vampire with me? Or would you say, I would have to become a vampire. Like, I can't not be a vampire and then live with you, because then I get a nosebleed and then I'm already, like, dead. Yeah,
like, I just can't control myself one day. It's like,
I'll do it.
Okay, that's crazy.
It's kind of cool.
But we're going to, like, live forever and see the universe expand and die. And that sounds like torture.
At least we'll see our favorite dictators die.
That's very true. And I guess, being a vampire, you always just have that choice to just, like, I don't know, go outside at 10 a.m. and to end it all.
Yeah. Like, or we can just, like, do the double suicide, just stick the... I don't know what this is called.
Stakes in the heart.
Yeah. We'll do it at the same time.
Yeah, or just go to our favorite Italian restaurant and order the most garlicky dish.
Or go to church.
Yeah, just open that Bible and just disappear.
Yeah.
So
that's basically me now.
Yeah.
Can't go to church.
Oh my God. But like, this scene was kind of cool, and I was kind of shipping Tina and Mama Walde.
Yeah, they were so cute. Yeah, they were so cute.
I was shipping them. I was like, Blacula, don't die. Like, fly away with your broad. Fly back to Africa.
And low-key, like, I also think, like, she thought that he was also just this exotic, like, romantic man, and she was like, we saw the other guy that came into their friend group, and he was, hollering at everyone. Yeah,
I forgot his name. What is it, Gator or something like that? Like,
something, yeah. And I felt like she was also sick of dealing with American guys. Ooh. And she was like, this African prince.
So she became a passport girl?
Yeah. She was the passport girl before passport girl.
When she fell in love with the African prince?
Yeah.
And Mama Walde didn't ask once, so what about my visa?
Exactly.
Is that scene? I don't know if you put that scene in here with the other guy. Is that in the slideshow where the other guy who's like, Mama Walde, brother, where'd you get that cape? That's here?
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, so Gordon and Michelle go to the cemetery and they're digging up the white boy. But when they open up the coffin, the white boy jumps out. It's like, go on, get.
It's hilarious. Like, he just slaps him and then puts the stake in his heart.
That is the most 70s way to kill a vampire. Like, pimp slapping it to death and then stabbing it in the heart. Like, bruh, that is the budget.
Yeah. And, like, at the same time, Michelle is freaking out because she's like, oh, like, why are you killing this person?
I know, right?
Yeah. But then Gordon, which I hate Gordon for this, but Gordon says, like, baby, I just had to show it to you. If I told you, you wouldn't believe me.
Okay.
And I'm like, bruh.
But that's kind of real. Like, who would you would not believe me if I said, actually, I saw a werewolf. You have to see it, bro. You have to see this.
If you told me, like, with a straight enough face, I would. Like, if you give me some evidence, I would.
Okay. All
it's
right.
like, would you rather have me a heart attack? Like,
to see a werewolf?
Yeah.
How would you react
insane.
If you actually saw one? Would you freak out like Michelle?
Obviously.
Really?
I would probably poop myself.
Oh my God. Like, yeah, it's crazy. Like, and Gordon really did, like, slap a vampire, like, only in the 70s, right? Because you think of such a thing. But anyway, also more vampires attack. There's also this other guy in the film who I thought was cool. There's this other white man who works in the police station.
Lieutenant Jack.
Yeah, Lieutenant Jack, and he has like a hook for a hand. And once again, like in these blaxploitation films, like some of the side characters feel like they deserve their own movie. Because, bruh, how do you end up Captain Hook working at a police station? What happened to you?
And then not end up using it in the movie.
I know, right? It was right there. Just stab that vampire in the fucking head. Like,
yeah.
Just hook it to death.
Yeah.
But yeah, the taxi lady who got bitten earlier by Mama Walde, she jumps up out of the bed and starts like attacking, I believe, the white guy.
Yeah.
Lieutenant Jack, whatever.
Either him or like just another doctor that's there.
Yeah, so now the vampires are on the loose and it's sort of like an infection. And I think, you know, vampires are cool mythological characters because they have a lot of symbolism and you can look at them different ways. Like in this case, vampires are sort of like a virus or like a pathogen that's spread throughout the city, right? And I think, the film was trying to say, like, you know, by Blacula coming back to life and biting certain people, like the black people as well, it could symbolize, like, you know, a sort of like awakening, you know, a rebellion, because these people start attacking everybody and everything and spreading the new idea. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. It might be like, I might be going too deep, and I'm not trying to make the film too deep, but I think I kind of look at vampires as like, you know, symbolism of a type of pathogen or the spreading of a new idea or a new order in the system. You get what I mean?
Mm. Yeah.
Yeah, that's just my thoughts. Any comments before we go to the next part?
No. I'm not going to start that.
Yeah. Well, I'm not trying to go too woke, brother. All right. Anyway, I think there's a sex scene because that's mandatory.
Yeah.
Mama Walde puts the BVC on Tina.
What is BVC?
Big vampire cock, baby.
Wow.
Yeah, so he puts the BVC on her. And, I think she liked it.
Yeah. I mean, I think he also says, again, like, come with me or something, or I can turn you, but Tina's just not convinced right now. Yeah.
That was a perfect opportunity. Come with me, Mama Walde. Run quick, see. I'm a BAT.
Okay.
I fly through the sky tonight. All right. Anyway, I'm sorry. So I forgot what happened here. Tell us.
Yeah. So basically, all of the friends group meet each other again, and it's like Mama Walde, Gordon, Tina, and Michelle. And now, like, obviously, Gordon knows and suspecting Mama Walde, and Mama Walde also, you know, kind of knows now, and he's trying to gather intel. And basically Gordon is saying, like, yeah, we found the vampire's coffin. We think all these murders are vampires. The police are out. Like, we're still throwing a search party. And Mama Walde's like, interesting. You know, like, acting like he doesn't know anything. And Tina is also there, like,
yeah,
you know, they're going to take my man.
It's not my man. I love how also, like, Tina transforms, like, he turns her into, like, his version of Luva in the 21st century or 20th century, making her, like, she sort of, like, changes her outfits once she like starts to get with Mama Walde, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, she's definitely a little fashionista.
Yeah,
like just some of her outfits are ridiculous. The last outfit she wears,
what was ridiculous. It? Do you remember?
Yeah, it's like these patterned dress with the whole gray pantsuit underneath.
Yeah,
and the cape. I think.
I don't know. She also got the cape on.
Like not like a whole cape, but just like a, I don't know what it's called.
Partial cape.
Yeah.
Anyway, moving forward. This is when one of the brothers. I think everybody in this film was trying to hold back the laughter, as you can see on the screen, because this guy, I believe his name is Gator or something, I forgot, and he's like a slick talking brother who also wanted Luva, and he says, "Say, brother, let me buy that cake from you." And it's like, look at everybody's faces here. Even Thalamus Rasulullah is laughing, and he doesn't. Everybody is laughing, and Mama Walde is laughing too, man. Yeah. This was a good scene, man. I like that. And this guy deserves to be in another film. He should have been in another blaxploitation film. Yeah. He's a character, comedian. But moving forward, like Dr. Gordon and stuff, like they go back to the spot where where Mama Walde first like began or whatever, right? At the port.
The warehouse.
Yeah, the warehouse at the port, whatever. And the cops all show up, but then there are more vampires there. Like a bunch of people have been bitten now. And so they all start attacking the police. And Dr. Gordon is there with like another white cop, I believe, and they're trying to like shoot the vampires, and that's not working and stuff. So then they start like, throwing like fire bombs at them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
So
there's like this scene where one of the cops get turned into a vampire, and the other white cop besides Gordon is like hesitating to throw the fire lamp at them.
Yeah.
And there's like that, I don't know, I guess moral scene or something.
Yeah. I liked the fight scene or this, action-packed scene. I mean, it is very like, by the books, like climax. The final fights against the evil bad guys and stuff like that. Yeah. I like the fire. It's hard to do like a person on fire in a film. That's probably where most of the budget went because the makeup and the outfits was not, as you can tell.
Yeah.
But I thought this scene was cool. I really liked it.
Yeah. I guess I felt a little bit bad that all those people had to die.
Yeah.
But they were already dead.
They were already the living dead. And the thing is, like, these vampires are more like zombie-like vampires. They're not like...
Yeah, like, why is one red, one white, and then one green?
Look at Acty being colorist.
No, like, but how does that make sense? Shouldn't they be all, like...
That is true. Like, one of them did
gray
become...
or something?
Yeah, and it reminds me of the vampire at the beginning of the film in Count Dracula's mansion. Like, there was a green lady as well.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think also...
Like, that's the taxi driver lady, and then this is the art dealer gay dude.
Yeah. Well, I don't know who the red guy is.
Yeah, I don't know.
But either way, it's the budget. It's the budget, man. I forgot what happens here.
Yeah, so Gordon goes back to the house, and he meets with Tina and Michelle, and him and Michelle are saying to Tina, like, you have to help us catch Mama Walde, because he's a vampire who's killing these people, and she's kind of hesitating. She's like, I can't. I love him.
I love him.
Yeah.
My man.
He's a good person. He's a good guy.
You don't understand.
Yeah. But they kind of, like, force her to help them, and she sort of, like, half-heartedly says, like, okay.
Do you think Tina thought, I could change him?
Yes. Because that's what we call him.
Is Tina like that, the ultimate like good girl who fell in love with a bad boy? Like,
fell in love with a good Nigerian man. But she just couldn't take the Nigerian out of him.
You couldn't take the Nigerian, man. The vampire Nigerian. Oh my God, that was funny. But yeah, so Luva meets up with Mama Walde again, I guess.
Yeah, like there's this whole thing happening in front of the warehouse where people are like, the police is telling everyone like clear out, and Mama Walde is like on the top of the building, and no one sees him. But then he turns into a bat, and one lady sees like, oh look, there's a bat, and everybody
looks like, damn, there's a bat, like, which is strange. Like, you didn't notice the 7-foot tall black man in a cape, but a big black bat flies through the city, and everybody's like freaking out.
Yeah, that was kind of funny.
But I'm gonna keep it real. Bats are freaky. Like, we went to Mauritius, and like in Mauritius at night, bats take over the sky, and they don't bite people, they don't harm people, but it is kind of freaky to see like bats everywhere.
And they were kind of big.
And they were big as hell. So I'm not actually surprised. Going backwards, rewinding, yeah, that woman was right. Like, oh yeah, that nigga's on the roof. Oh my God, there's a bat.
Yeah, and there's this whole scene of like Tina walking to meet Mama Walde, and like I don't know. In that scene, it felt like she was in a trance or something because she was like a robot just walking into it, and I was like, oh, like did he put a spell on her or something?
I think that's, like, because that's like also in Nosferatu, like the power of vampires is that they are able to enchant and attract you and seduce you. Yeah. So I think he did put sort of like a spell on her that maybe she didn't even know.
I don't know. It kind of looked like that, but yeah, they meet and they kiss.
Yeah.
And yeah.
I think also she was like, I'm convinced now I want to be a vampire now. She's like, I want to join you.
Yeah, and I think now he was hesitating to turn her into a vampire.
Yeah.
But yeah, later on, as they are running away because the cops are coming into where they are, one of the cops, a white cop, shoots
her in the back. So this is Mama Walde's introduction to police brutality.
Yes.
Because like Tina did not deserve to die. But the cop was like, yep, gotta kill that nigger bitch. So yeah, it's really bad.
But yeah, basically Mama Walde's like, this is the perfect time. Now you can always be with me. And he turns Tina into a vampire at this point. Because if he doesn't, she will die.
Yeah.
What did you think of that?
I thought that was kind of cool. Like, once again, like, there's kind of a lot of symbolism in that theme, Like, he's giving her another chance at life after hers was unjustly taken. In this case, by, what could be called, like, racist policing. I think that's kind of deep. Once again, the film doesn't go too deep with the themes, but if you think about it, that's what it is,
Yeah, definitely. And I definitely think there was a little bit of social commentary there as well, because then we see like Mama Walde killing the white cop that killed her, but he isn't like biting him. He just kills him with electricity or something. Yeah,
straight up. Like he goes on a murder spree, and I believe he also starts shouting through the warehouse, like, all you coppers will face your death. This will be the last stance that you'll ever take. And yeah, it's terrifying.
Yeah.
Because he starts like throwing people off balconies. Like I think he threw one cop like 3 stories down onto another cop. Or no, he threw a barrel at somebody.
He's like throwing people, and he's just like enraged because he almost lost his, like, he kind of had to kill his love.
Yeah. But he goes kind of like Donkey Kong or Super Mario on people, like, in the warehouse, like throwing crates and barrels.
And that, like, he finally knows his strength now.
I know, right? But if they remake this movie, I just got to say, if they remake this movie, like that scene when he goes crazy on the cops, he has to go like all out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they should go like full CGI, show his powers and stuff. That would be hella cool. But yeah, moving forward though, the police find another coffin. I believe it was Dr. Gordon that sees the coffin. And he's also there with Michelle. Because everywhere Dr. Gordon goes, Michelle is there too. And so they open up the coffin, and Dr. Gordon like stabs this bitch that jumps out of the coffin, and he sees that it's Tina. And Michelle is crying like, no, you killed my bestie. And she sort of withers away. And I think Mama Walde sees this, and he gets really upset. What do you think of that scene?
Yeah, I was sad that like Tina had to die because, like you said, I was shipping them. I wanted them to be together, but then again, Dracula's story is a tragedy. And yeah, like it was sad that she had to die. And low-key Gordon, like, damn, like kind of heartless.
Yeah, like
but he didn't have any choice. So
like the film. Like, once again, like, the characters in this film, it is so conflicting. And I think that's partially, like, the genius here. Like, you don't want Tina to die. You kind of don't want Mama Walde to die. And you feel like if Dr. Gordon, Tina, and Mama Walde all sat down, they will probably agree on more than they disagree. It's not like Mama Walde hated Gordon or, because Mama Walde is actually a good guy who was in a bad situation. And Tina is just a girl who fell in love with this man, you know what I mean, who's misunderstood. So, yeah, and I thought Michelle had it pretty bad too, because like imagine like me like just stabbing your friend right in front of you. And it's like that's crazy to think about.
Yeah, I think that was the end of Michelle and Dr. Gordon.
Oh, sad. It's like you kill. What if in the sequel, if there was a sequel, I think there is a sequel to this film. Mama Walde takes Michelle. He takes Michelle from Dr. Gordon.
No, he can't. He's dead.
I think there is a sequel though with William Marshall as Blacula, so I don't know how they did that. But yeah, basically, Mama Walde gets really upset after the death of Tina, and he just sort of like walks into the sun and dies.
Yeah, I mean, like the cops they're like trying to get him, and he basically says like, I have no reason to live now.
Yeah.
Now that you're gone, and he walks in, and at the end, I didn't put it here because it was kind of gross to look at it, but the movie ends with like just us, like him, rotten, like with worms in his face,
maggots in his face.
Yeah, and Dr. Gordon is there, and that's how it ends.
So yeah, the ending was is very tragic. It's very tragic. Kind of happens kind of fast, I would say, but it makes sense in the story. You know what I mean? There's no reason to like drag it out even more. Yeah. But I like how it sort of ends on a tragedy, and it sort of like makes you not like hate Mama Walde. It makes you be like, oh, he really was just motivated by love. You know what I mean? And love is the tragic downfall of Blacula. And I liked it. What'd you think? Yeah,
I liked it too. I like the perspective that, they made Mama Walde like not an actual monster, not a monster like who's always wanting to kill and harm people, but he was just like this cursed man that was put in this situation. So throughout the movie, like we never hate him, we actually sympathize with him.
Yeah.
And I really like the subtle commentary in the movie about like social stuff. I like the music. It was good. Acting is good. Yeah. The costumes and like the effects, because it's like, lower budget. Yeah. But yeah, overall it was like a really fun watch, I would say, for me.
Yeah. I think, this film reminded me somewhat of a film that we watched, Deaf to Temptation or Deaf Temptation. Okay. Remember that film about the succubus, the lady? Yeah. And it just reminded me, like, you can make great stories with a small budget and use these mythical characters to make, commentary about today. Like Death by Temptation, I think it's what the name was. This like episode 80 or something of what we did. And in this film, this succubus comes to life to talk about, how there's sexism and patriarchy and like, using women just for their bodies. And like, what if women could like have a way to fight back and like murder these men, rip their penises off that just, look at women as sex objects. And Mama Walde in a lot of ways sort of like symbolizes like, this reconnection to Africa, this, sort of like a black empowerment type of character, but also the tragedy of being black and misunderstood in this world. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of symbolism here that I like about, the character in this sort of like, black horror film, So, yeah.
Yeah. I think I like the combination of, this horror plus love plus social commentary. So, yeah, it was really good.
Yeah. So, final scores, I give this a solid 7.5. I understand, like, most people would watch this film and say, yeah, that was a low budget, kind of shitty acted and put together film. You know what I mean? I understand that. I understand that this film has a lot of bad qualities, but I also appreciate it for like what it makes you think about, how it makes you feel, how it's a fun, nostalgic type of watch. So I give it a solid 7.5. I know it's not for everybody, and it might become more hard to watch as the years go by. But if you appreciate this sort of cinema in this era, you're gonna like this a lot. So 7.5 for me.
Yeah, I mean, I always thought like, I would be turned off by like these early movies just because of the effects. Like they're so fake that you can't unsee it and it takes you out of the movie. But the more I watch, I actually find out that it's really about like the movie. Like if the movie is good enough, it kind of compensates for those things. And I don't think necessarily all of those effects that we see in this movie that might be bad. Like I don't think it makes it a negative for me. So I'm gonna give it like 8.5.
Give it an 8. Okay, interesting. Interesting. Now,
sorry,
go ahead,
just one last thing. Like I guess If you're into like quirky, campy horror, this is the movie for you.
That's exactly what I wanted to say. Like, so if you're a very serious cinephile, like you love serious movies, you're gonna trash this. But if you like campy, sort of silly stuff, like Sharknado, you know what I mean? Like, you're gonna like this film. But I gotta ask you. I was gonna say this. I have an idea. Lakeith Stanfield as Blacula in 2026. Yes, no.
It's hard because I think he has that quirkiness.
Yeah.
I don't know if he has the
manliness, the gravitas.
Yeah. I mean, if he gains a bit of weight, maybe.
Yeah, he is he is a bit goofy looking. Like, we have to find an actor has
Donald Glover.
No. Because he's going to be chasing his white queen. Mama Walde became a bunny hopper.
Stop trashing this man.
I don't know who could play. We have to think about who could play Mama Walde in a sequel, but let us know who you think could play.
Dwayne.
The way, The Rock just lost a lot of weight, but, him playing Blacula would probably ruin his career because he doesn't know. People don't know he's black. Yeah. So
I know he's old, but I also think Eddie Murphy could pull this off.
Eddie Murphy as Blacula.
But I mean, even in this movie, Blacula is not necessarily young.
He's not. He's literally 400 years old.
Yeah.
So, we'll have to think about that more. Who could play Blacula now? I think Lakeith could do it. Maybe John David Washington.
I feel like he's too serious.
Yeah, he is a bit too serious and not as charismatic.
I think he's charismatic, but I don't know.
His father, I've always thought John David Washington lacks the charisma of his father. Like, he always just has this,
because you're constantly comparing them.
Yeah, I mean, his father was just, the ultimate, his father is charisma.
Yeah, so, the man is a walking charisma.
Yeah, but John David, he lacks that certain thing. But he has the physique, just not the energy.
Yeah, I mean, I would prefer Lakeith over
John David.
Yeah.
Anyway, so this has been episode 131 of Simon and Acting Movie Reviews. Blacula, done. If you got a film that you think we should review, put it in the comments. We have to watch this film that was suggested to us by one of our subscribers, Kareth J. He suggested Free State of Jones with Matthew McConaughey, so that might be up next. But if you got a film you think will be good for us, put it in the comment section. We'll try to get to it. Y'all be easy out there, and peace.